me. What's up with it? We are here at Honestly Speaking. As you see, the setup is a little different today. The setup is different. We got some special guests today. Let's go down this line. First of all, let's get started with a little prayer. Okay. Let's get our minds right. Right. You know, let's gather around the thoughts of grace and gratitude today. You know, it's another beautiful day. We're blessed to be here. Yes, we are. And it's a blessing for y'all to be here with us. All right? Absolutely. My brother is going to get us going with the prayer, and then we're going to lock in. Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for life. We thank you for health. We thank you for strength. We thank you for another opportunity to be in your presence, to live this thing we call life. We thank you for the chance to be in community with each other. We thank you for our families and the connections that we make in this life. We don't take any of it for granted, Lord God. There's a lot of things and stuff we could be doing, but today we are choosing and feeding into the opportunity to uplift and bring insight and light to your name. And we do these things in Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Let's get straight into it, bro. Without further ado, let's get into our the lineup of guests. We have an extraordinary cast this afternoon. So let's start with my guest here. Let's just go through our name and you know, why we're here.
My name is Sybil Holden, and I'm here to say or whatever I can to help out anyone who's listening with my story that could possibly help them.
My name is Kelsey, and I guess I'm just here to support my brother.
My name is Erica Green, and I am here because my sons invited me. They are Marcus and Eli.
She's so funny. She's so funny acting, ain't she?
My name is Elise, and I'm here to also be in support of our mother. This is our mother here. This is who is referenced a lot in these episodes.
Perfect. And if you haven't noticed, this theme this episode that we're wrapped around is around Mother's Day. So we got our moms up here. Everybody, I would say everybody should be grateful and feel blessed to have such wisdom and insight on today's episode here at Honestly Speaking. I believe the best thing in life is having a mom. It's one of the best things in life. 110%. I believe motherhood is a calling, and it's something that is placed in your life for direction, for nurturing, for understanding, for rearing, and if you have a great mom out there, know that you are blessed. Know that you are blessed beyond all measures, because there's nothing like having a great mom.
Absolutely.
I got a question. I want to pose this first question. Let's do it. What is Mother's Day? And I want to kick that question off with let me see. I want to kick that question off with Miss Kelsey.
Okay.
What is Mother's Day to you? What's your definition of Mother's Day? How do you celebrate it personally?
Okay.
And how essential has mom, been in your life, and how big of an impact and role has she played for you in your growth and development as a woman of God, and just overall, just women in the world, and upholding a high level standard, to other women, saying what a woman should be.
Right. Well, it's a very long question. Let me go ahead and break it into pieces. So yeah, I mean, to sum it up, like, my mom is definitely my rock. I would not be where I am today, without her influence and stuff. And growing up in our household, Mother's Day has always been something that's really, really celebrated. Like, it's right up there with Christmas, like, you know what I mean? And our household personally, being raised by a single parent, she was mother and father and everything. So, me and my sisters, even more so now that we're older, you know, and we're established and stuff, we're able to do even nicer things, right, for her. But it's always been just very, very important, in our household. Um, my, I guess, definition of Mother's Day is really just, you know, showering, you know, your mother and mother figure with love and support, and just really, really kind of honoring and appreciating everything they've done for you. I know for me, even more so now that I'm older, I really, you know, gotten to see really just how many sacrifices she's made for me and my sisters over the years. You know, I never want to take that for granted. You know, God bless her to just really be strong and, you know, powerful woman, and just, you know, I think it really kind of just trickled down to me and my sisters. You know, some of my friends and stuff, they don't celebrate Mother's Day that often, or, you know, it's like here and there, and I'm like, you know, to each his own. But in my household, you know, it's big, right? And all we've had is her. That's all we've known for, you know, a long time. So it's just very important that, you know, we shower her with love and respect and stuff. So I just feel like, yeah, that's my definition of Mother's Day. Even me being at the age of 26, I still, you know, call my mom and talk to her for advice, you know, big life decisions and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, she's just, you know, she's a great role model. And yeah, I guess that's just what Mother's Day means to me in a nutshell. Just really kind of, you know, showing my mom love, support, and appreciation for everything she's done for me.
Awesome.
That's dope right there.
That's
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, see, we done broke the ice now. The ice has been broken. The jitters is out, you know what I'm saying? They was all nervous and stuff, and trying to be all shy. And we said, go ahead and test the mic. They was, they was being all shy and stuff. The ice is broke now, all right? Lee, so now it's your turn. We're going to save the best for last. We're going to say the mothers, you know, after, you know, okay? So, Lee, it's your turn. Same question you posing.
Mother's Day to me really is an opportunity to just give my mom back, or try to give her back everything she's given me. I know I could never do that, but it's a way to really just say thank you, really. And even being an adult, still mothering me. You know, sometimes with some mothers that stops after once the kid hits 18, you know. But I can always talk to her. She's not just my mom, but as I've become an adult, being 28 years old, she's my best friend. We talk, we have our talks, we love shopping. We really do.
Amazon card is full.
But
Can't add more items.
we bond over makeup. That's our big thing. I think that's probably one of the first things I noticed by my mom when we were growing up, was her makeup was always right. It was always fire. It was like, I used to watch her, and that made me admire her. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. And so Mother's Day for me is really just a day to say, and of course it extends more than just that day, but I feel like on that day, it's a time to really just express gratitude and appreciation, as Kelsey said, for everything that she's given to me, everything she's sacrificed for me, the things that I know, the things that are never said, you know, but are expressed, and letting her know that I see her for all that she is, even outside of mother, but the woman she is too. So, and appreciating her for that and what she's taught me about being a woman, and about God and faith. One of her top sayings is keep God first. Always. That's the first thing she says all the time.
It drilled it into us.
Yes. Nobody prays like this woman. And she prays. She's a prayer warrior. So And
She will exorcise the demons.
yeah. Yes, she will. And but also the love that she's given us, and the things she's taught us along with my dad, but it's something about having a mother, and you know, they're just, there's nobody like them. They're like they're their own breed, if you will,
Yeah.
like, you know. So
Yeah.
it's really a day for me to just tell my mom how much she means to me, whether it be through words or gifts too, and a lot of times both. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I want to say, although me and my brother, physically will never know what it's like to be a mom, we do understand and see that it is one of the toughest jobs, if not the toughest job,
In the world.
in the world. So we just want to say that we see that, acknowledge you guys, give you guys your flowers, and just continue to just share light with you guys, you know, spread love to you guys, you know, because it's very, very important, you know, the things you go through. Just the moms we have here personally have dealt with injuries, so not on a mental, only on a mental scale, but on a physical scale.
Yeah.
It's been tough for you guys personally, and so we want to just take time out, just, you know, that's kind of what this episode is going to be, just giving you guys your flowers. So now on to further ado, the mothers who we so anxiously
Want to hear from?
want to hear from. All right, so we're gonna start with Sybil. Okay, Sybil, what is Mother's Day to you?
Mother's Day to me is, my daughter kind of summed it up, but my mother is deceased. She's no longer here, but she raised 16 of us. I have 10 brothers and 5 sisters, and
Wow.
you talking about an example of faith in God. That is a
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Almighty 16.
16.
Jesus. So that in itself, that was an applause in
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
Thank you. But she taught me faith in God. She taught me perseverance. I seen her, I mean, raising 16, I can't even imagine. I had 4 and it was just like, so it just appreciating her. When she was here, I appreciated her. I let her know I love her. I did, you know, I showed her I love her. Just not enough to say it, but just showing it there for her. And I gave her flowers while she was alive. So by the time that she did go home to be with the Lord, she knew that she was loved. But it's a very important job for me personally as a mother. I remember having my first child when I was 23 probably. And like so many of the other young women, I was raised, I had a dad that was a pastor, a mom in church, and I ended up pregnant at 22, 23, one of the ages. But anyway, it was hard because back then when you ended up pregnant, you know, it was like a whole different thing as far as being a preacher's kid. So that whole ordeal was something in itself, and I actually had a lot of shame to go with that. So, you know, it just comes with the territory. But through it all, I ended up getting married. Ended up having 4 children, but I ended up getting married, and I lost the kids' dad when the kids were probably around 4, 6, and 7. So I was a single mom. That was a whole nother thing that I never experienced. And I can truly say through all of that, that God was there for me. He was my rock. He was, I mean, mother, father, financial provider. I vividly remember, you know, they were in cheer and basketball, and I would be sitting there on the field. You know, I worked a full shift taking care of them. And I would try to be at cheerleading practice, basketball practice, and I would be sitting out there on the field during track practice, and I would see all the mothers and the fathers. And, you know, it was like a lonely feeling because I was like, but God always reminded me, I'm here. You're not alone. It seems like you're alone, but you're not alone because I'm here with you. He just carried me through every phase. I mean, it was not easy. There's some days I wanted to pull my hair out and I was just so overwhelmed, but God just carried me through every different stage they went through. They're all doing well. All three of them is educated with degrees, and statistically, you know, it was not supposed to turn out like that. But when God is in something, regardless of the decisions that you made or mistakes that you made or whatever,
Yeah.
God was with me through the whole thing, and I look back over my life. So being a mother was and is the most important thing that I feel like I've accomplished beside my relationship with God. I wanted to make sure they were healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually, because a lot of times as mothers, at least personally for myself, I'm suffering from anxiety. I wanted to make sure my kids were healthy. I wanted to give them balance. As a lot of times as preacher kids,
Yeah.
we put a lot of pressure on our kids to be saved.
Yeah.
And I don't think they realize as a whole is God does the saving, the drawing, the healing, he does it all.
Yeah.
So we can just be an example, but we can't save them. So it's all this pressure to live up to who everybody wanted me to be, and it just made me like, I couldn't fit in, because every time they say, don't do this, then I would screw up. So then I couldn't fit what man wanted me to be in, and I just finally was like, I can't worry about y'all, I have to do what God wanted me to do.
Yeah.
So when I did that, and I had many days, I cried. I mean, I went through a lot in my life, and I don't take none of it lightly, because it had made me who I am today. And I try to just continue to be a good mother, be there for them, pray for them, let them know you're going to make mistakes, it's life, but I'm going to love you unconditional, like God loved me. God loves us unconditional, and that's the kind of love we have to give our children. Unconditional, let them know I'm there for them. And I remember as little kids, I would hold them in my arms, because something really important to me was to let them know that they were loved. I would tell them, good night, my little angels, and before they went to bed at night, and to this day, we got a running joke. Mom, I remember you used to sing me that song, but I wanted them to feel the love. I wanted them to, because a lot of times kids don't feel love, and they go out and try to get love in all the other places. So it's just really is important, and has always been important, and I just give all glory to God that, he allowed me to be a mother, and I was able to raise 3 beautiful ladies. So that's my take.
That's great.
That's very inspiring though.
Just drop the mic.
Yeah.
Right.
Sybil out.
Right. I ain't even dropping the mic, I'm throwing it.
Man.
Throw the mic onto the stage into the crowd.
And I mean, just to add on that, it was a lot of gems like
Yes.
in that because it's so it has to be so taxing being a mom in certain lights where you can't necessarily explain sometimes the ups and downs of that journey. Even though sometimes you can say the things, it doesn't necessarily mean people are going to understand, and it doesn't mean that people are going to actually support. So it's sometimes being a mom, at least from what I see, it's a silent battle sometimes.
I think it's mainly just doing what's best for you at all times.
Yeah.
Without unapologetically.
I think, and it's just my opinion on it. I think when it comes to a relationship with God and a person, I think the tightest relationship is that of God and a mother.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think because I don't know any other way a mom could make it through certain things without having
Without God,
God like open doors that just can't be opened. Like
And it's the closest love that resembles that of
right.
God. So it's like it was meant. It's like God meant it to be that way.
Absolutely. All right, Mom. It's on you. What is your experience as a mother? Yeah. What is it to you?
Mother's Day is another chance to thank God for making mothers.
Wow. Say that again.
That's why he's God, because he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what the family would need when he made mothers.
Yeah.
I thank God for my mom. It is a blessing because she is the rock of our family. She is still here. That's a blessing within itself.
Yeah.
My mom is in her 80s, and the things that she taught, I didn't always understand, but as I got older and more mature, I was like, I thank God for my mom teaching me that. Like, I thank God that my mom introduced me to Christ.
Yeah.
I thank God that my mom told me, be careful, pick your friends like you pick your fruit.
Mm.
Tell you things like, hey, that person right there is not your friend. And you like, you know, my mom was the type of person that she could meet you. She just had this discernment on 100.
Yeah.
And she could just be like, yeah, no, you know. And even though I didn't always get it or understand it,
Mm-hmm.
I do now because I have some of that.
Yeah, a lot
Oh,
of
you had a lot of that
What?
growing up.
yeah.
She would tell us that in a minute. Hey, that, stop.
Yeah,
That
you have a lot of it.
no, that's
I
not.
thank God for that. And I just want to say to, you know, as Sybil was saying, how her mom is deceased, to everyone that's out there that, you know, you might not have your mom anymore, but God is there. He can fill that void.
Yes.
There's no one on earth like moms.
Man.
No one like moms. And I really thank God for my mom. So it's just another day, another time, every day that you can celebrate your mom, celebrate.
Absolutely.
Celebrate, because they do a lot. They wear a lot of hats.
Man.
And sometimes they are vocal, and a lot of times they are silent
Silent.
while still doing.
Yes.
So I thank God for my mom, who's also a prayer warrior, who taught me,
Absolutely.
and, you know, just say, hey, you cannot make it. And she reminds, you know, I hear myself when I say certain things. I hear my mom. Like, that's my mom. My mom said that. But you can't make it on this earth without God. You just can't do it. You can try, but yeah, it's not gonna work. So I thank her for all her teaching, her love, her discipline, because she was,
Yeah, that's a part of the memories right there. Yeah.
But just introduce me to God, and, you know, praying and making sure I keep him first. Like I tell my kids, keep God first. Have him intertwined in your life. Don't make any decisions without him. I got that from my mom. And I thank God I can still call her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And say, I still ask my mom, hey mom, this is going on. What you think about this? And 9 times out of 10 or 10 out of 10 is going to be, did you pray about it? What did God say?
Mm-hmm.
Take a seat back. Don't do you're nothing hasty. Hold on a second. Calm down. You're doing a whole lot right now. So that's things that I tell my kids, because I got it from my mom, and I love her so much. So shout out to all the moms and all that they do.
We love you, Grandma.
Love Grandma.
That's the first Graham. Graham.
Love you, Grandma.
But shout out to all the moms and all that they do. And I thank God for my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great stuff, bro. That's great stuff. My heart is tender right now. And
Take her to the sirloin steak.
you know, Mother's Day to me is memories.
Yeah.
Like memories. Like going through, like, just those memories of me, like, waking up as a kid, smelling food. Going, my mom is in the kitchen cooking up something mean, something nice for us to eat.
A bunch of cleaning supplies.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember the butt whoopings too.
I gotta get up.
Yeah.
I'm in that practice all week. I gotta get up in the morning.
I will too.
I remember the butt whoopings too, man.
Please.
I remember them things, man. You know, and like y'all was saying earlier, like, you know, in that time you don't understand it, but boy, when you grow up, there's a certain gratitude that hits you.
Yeah.
And it sounds, I'm thinking it sounds cliche because you say it so much, but then when you really grow up and come into a mature state,
Absolutely.
man,
Or life gets a hold of
you
you.
start dealing with
Like,
people.
Yes.
ooh.
Mom is so part of my spirit that when I'm like falling towards the edge, I can hear her voice without her being there. You know, where a lot of the times I don't necessarily have to go look everywhere around for an answer. It's right instilled into my spirit. Like as far as the discipline goes, as far as the talks goes, as far as the forgiveness goes. Mothers are very forgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, there have been times where, I mean, as youth, we were crazy. We were disrespectful in certain lights. You know what I'm saying? And for a mom to just overlook that and say, hey, no, you're my child. You know, you're carrying my name. You're carrying look, you look like me. You know, and to stand in and be like, yo, I'm gonna be there for you regardless. You know, that's to me, you can't find that anywhere else other than God Himself.
When y'all, we doing the Mother's Day episode now, right? And we're gonna do a Father's Day one. June, is it June or July?
June. Yeah.
And Dad's birthday is in July. All right, cool. We're gonna do a Mother's Day and a Father's Day, right? So y'all gonna see the extrovert comes from mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
The extrovert comes from mom.
My
The
birthday,
introvert
Is my dad.
comes from dad.
Yes.
Daddy up.
But that's a great balance, though.
It's a great
Grew up with a
balance.
great balance, though, like that.
I want to pose this next question.
All right.
And it's not even really a question. You can just kind of just talk about, it's two parts. We can say, you know, how has it been for you raising up daughters? And also, what do you think the toughest job as a mother is? So look back through all the things that you had to do, all the sacrifices you had to make on a day-to-day basis. What's the toughest job?
That's a good question.
What's the toughest thing you had
What
to
was the
do
toughest thing? Yeah.
and overcome, you know, time and time again? And then what's the, how has it been for you, you know, how have you progressed, you know, raising daughters? How has it been tough for you raising daughters, you know, raising more women?
Yeah.
I think when you have to, I'm gonna deal with the latter of that. The toughest thing is when you have to step back and let your kids be adults. That's so hard because we're hands in, hands on, and this and this and this stuff. And even though now, you know, you guys as dad still be like, okay, you gotta step back. You have to step back. You have to let them figure it out like you had to figure some things out. And that's tough. And when you guys were younger, to have to discipline you guys. Your dad, he wasn't, you know, he left that to me to do. Now, if I came to him and say, hey, you know, I need you to, of course he was there, but to go and say, hey, and be stern or firm or hard and have to discipline and have to say some hard words, and then you walk away and you're almost about to cry or tear up because you like, that's hard because I had to say something hard. I had to, but I know that that's gonna help them either right then or down the line.
Yeah.
Raising girls is an amazing job, but it can be challenging because women, and you know, as they start growing and stuff, you start sometimes clashing, especially when they are so much alike you.
I was about to say that, you know, especially when the attitude and the mouth start kicking in.
I would never forget, my mom used to say this to me and my sister Laura. I guess because we gave her, I don't know, we might have gave her the most grief as possible, but she used to say to us, I hope that you guys have a daughter just like you, and oh my God.
And guess who that one is?
Ooh.
Guess who that one is?
Well, it's Elise,
Right.
but
It's really
Mariah to the 10th power.
Oh, yeah,
Mariah to the 10th power. Me and Elise have some,
Go ahead, Mom.
Log back in.
Go ahead, Mom. Mariah.
So Mariah, to the 10th power, is, I think, I'll say like me, but she might be,
Light years ahead of her time.
she is something else. It's like,
And that's all from this is all from grandma's prophecy over your life.
right. For her saying that,
We have
I
no
will
idea.
never forget those words. I can hear her now. I hope y'all have a daughter just like y'all. And it's, oh my God, it's yeah, it came true. But you have to really be mindful of the things that you instill in them because you're raising ladies.
So true.
You have to, do this a certain way. You don't go anywhere by yourself with men, or you have to really be teaching them different things and stuff, especially if you have experienced some different things that you don't want your girls to experience. So you have to really be mindful of the things that you tell them, and praying to God, Lord, please, protect them and keep them. Put your angels out and watch out for them, because a lot of times women are targets.
Oh, absolutely.
And they don't
Absolutely.
even know it.
Yeah.
You could be somewhere, anywhere, and you don't even realize that you're being targeted.
Yeah.
So you have to, the things, and with all your kids,
Yeah.
you have what you tell them and how you watch out for yourselves, and your prayer life, and the angels, asking the Lord to put the angels around you, different things and stuff. But we women, girls, we clash. We get, different things. They want to do this their way, and you say, okay, no, let's do it this way, because you feel and that particular subject, better. But they want to do it different,
That's it,
and so now you got this going on, this kind of a tug of war. You come, no, you come, no, you come, no. So it's very
Because
interesting.
that's a big job that you guys have, because that's technically actually bringing up a new generation of women.
Yes.
And the quality, and I don't know if anybody else noticed, the quality of women, yeah.
It's a little, it's a,
I got a lot to say about that, but I
okay,
ain't
wait,
even going.
wait. The quality of women is a little interesting.
The pool is definitely scarce.
Yeah, interesting.
Jesus!
It's a little different.
It's a little skewed.
Of moral and ethic women, the pool is definitely scarce.
It's a little shishi.
Now than it is, but that's why we thank, the wonderful mothers.
That's why we thank y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Who,
Sybil, Mom, we thank y'all.
It's about the upbringing.
Yeah.
It starts at home.
It starts, yes.
So, what is your experience of raising women, raising a woman, raising a girl to a woman?
For me, I took a lot that I learned from my mom with the values on how to be a lady, because she used to say stuff like, leave something to the imagination. Don't just show everything. She would say stuff like,
Preach.
I tried to tell them to be an example of what somebody would want in a wife. And that doesn't mean you can't. Just carry yourself like a lady, because guys are going to respect you according to how you allow them. If you act a certain way, then, so I just tried to instill values to make them understand their importance, their love, they're valuable, and carry themselves in certain ways so that, they will be respected. And I have to agree with Erica when she was saying one of the hardest things was as they got older. I recently went through the empty nest syndrome when they all left home and they got of age. And for me, my middle daughter, Colette, was mine.
That's her twin.
Was for me because she's like, you raise them and then they get older, but I had to do extra for her because she would let people like walk over. So I had to always defend her and like speak up for her. So then it got to the point where she not only could take care of herself, but then she started trying to, she I was like, you done got too good at this
Right,
because
then she got,
you-
then she naturally qualified.
Yes, exactly. So I just had to get to the point and I said, God, you know, I just got her best interest at heart. And I got to the point where I told all my kids, I trust you till you give me a reason not to. I instilled in them what God gave me to, and I said, hey, you know what, I prepare you for life. So now, God, they're yours. So it's like there's consequences behind decisions, and I didn't try to hide my mistakes because I made them. So that's why there's grace, because like I said, they're trying to raise them and save them. You can't do it. You have to let God draw them. And a lot of parents, we make that mistake. We try to save them, you know. We can tell them what's right and show them and all that, but God got to touch their heart and say, okay, I want you to do this and stuff. But we can't save them. And I think as parents, a lot of times we try to do that. So I realized I couldn't do that with my kids. I just taught them the difference between wrong and right, and now you of age. But I told them there's consequences behind this decision. I didn't try to hide my mistakes because I wanted them to know. Because I tried to fit in. I wanted to be like everybody else. I wanted to be accepted. So I was mad that I was different. You know, so to speak. I was like out there I don't want to be like this. I want people to accept me and love me. But I was trying to have the world to love me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand. So, but then it wasn't until later on that I realized, okay, well, you were something special that God had called, and so I said, you know what, God, I'm just going to be who you want me to be.
And that realization is tough.
Yes.
Yes.
That realization. But once you get it,
Yes.
Oh, it's hard. You never let it go.
You know,
then,
You never let it
you
go.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I was thinking when you were describing your daughter, I was saying, Kelsey she always been a no-nonsense one.
Yes.
She got that concern good. I'm not playing around.
Yes,
Yeah.
She was gifted that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But they're all like really nice and sweet and talk to be respectful, but at the same time, I pushed education because I told them I want you to do better than mom. I want you to make it in this world.
Yeah.
And it's not that people that don't have education can't make it, you can, but it's just that they have to pay you a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? You have a certain amount of education, they have to. And I'm like, I want you to be able to take care of yourself. So if you meet somebody, that's just an asset. But you do need to be able to, pay some bills. You don't, it's not. So I tried to teach them responsibility of paying bills, all that kind of stuff. That's all part of it. But the hardest thing was when they left home and then being a disciplinary. I wouldn't let them go to people's houses when they were young.
Oh, man.
Girls, so what's going on?
I wanted to be a Girl Scout so bad, and she just would not. Now looking back though, like I really appreciate that she was that way, because it protected me from a lot of potential stuff that could have popped off, But I mean, every year I tried the flyer, hey mom, Girl Scouts, my friends in it, or hey, someone's having a sleepover, and she was just not having it. I'm like, oh, you saw them at the school teacher conference, and she's like, oh no, I need to talk to them and get to know them.
The same way.
She
couldn't hang out with them.
Look, she told you, nah, we'll make our own cookies and tell them.
Yeah. Couldn't go nowhere.
Mom, can I go to the friend house?
Nope.
It was just that you just heard the horror stories. Like, okay, that someone just went to a sleepover and something happened. And so my mom was like, we couldn't do that. We couldn't go over and spend night. And you had to watch people just like, regular your friends and their uncles and different things and stuff, especially with the girls. And you had to watch family too, as well.
So
it did not matter that
Discernment.
Uncle Boo Boo Bobo was, hey, he was over there with him. No, because any other women gonna be there?
Exactly.
Okay, well, no, whether you can't go.
Yeah.
You had to be careful.
Looking at those all the factors.
And us as children, we have this thing that's implemented in us, like we know better than you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
What
that's the enemy. I believe that.
All generations.
I believe that's purely just fleshly type persona. For all the kids in the world, we just want to apologize for that. Just because that's a lifelong struggle.
I know that's frustrating.
That's a lifelong struggle.
I know that's got to be frustrating.
Like sometimes I've been a victim of it. I was just like, my mom doesn't know what she's talking about. And then
and come go through something and then be like, it hits you and you be like, oh man.
Yeah, it blows up in your face, and then you gotta go back with your face blown up.
Yeah.
And put your face back together and say, Mom, Dad, You were right.
Now, see what the mom gonna do, she gonna help you put your face back on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then she gonna say, hey, listen to me next time.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll do it again next time.
I wanna pose a final question, or more so, I just wanna ask and just kind of say, like, what are you guys' final thoughts of, the mothers and daughters too? Just what you guys would like to share with, mothers out there and daughters out there, and how they should move, how they should, going forward. You know what I'm saying? What are just some encouraging thoughts,
With some
words of
with
wisdom,
some good tips and advice.
words of wisdom you guys, want to leave with them, in final, in conclusion, I would say.
Okay, I guess I'll start it off. I think for me personally, I just want to say thanks, Mom, for the balance that you gave us. I feel like, she raised us in church. We have that solid foundation, faith in God. God comes first. But she never tried to force, religion onto us as kids. She's like, you'll find your own way. You'll form your own personal relationship with God, and that's when it'll be the most effective and beneficial for you, right? And I think just coming from her own personal experience, being, a pastor's kid, and how she was brought up, very, very strict. They couldn't wear pants, couldn't listen to the radio, couldn't watch TV, lots of crazy stuff. And, her, my aunts and uncles would always tell us stories about all, like, their, growing up and that aspect of it. And I'm just like, whew, man, I am so thankful that, you didn't raise us like that. You took the best parts of that, but then also allowed us to just grow up and be normal kids at the same time, and I think it's a very delicate balance, but, I think it's very needed, right? Because I feel like just me being me, like you said, like I'll tell people what needs to be told. I get my feistiness from my mom. People may not believe it because, she's good and saved now, but she was younger. Let me tell you, fireball, So I feel like I get that feistiness from her, and I just feel like, yeah, if I didn't have that balance of, I feel like if she tried to hold on to me too tight, I probably would have turned out differently than what I am now. And so, yeah, I'm just grateful. I think balance is key. Like I said, it is a very delicate balance. It's hard to, make sure they kind of essentially have the best of both worlds. But,
Right.
I really feel like that's really what shaped me, right? To not be crazy. And like you said, to be like wifey material and, like hold yourself to a certain standards, but also still being able to go out and experience the world for myself. Like you said, you teach us, our morals and values, and, we carry that with us. But at the end of the day, we all have to make our own choices and go through things on our own, and figure life out on our own. So I just feel like, yeah, just if I didn't have that balance, man, I think it would be, might have turned out a lot differently. So I'm grateful. Love you, Mom. I appreciate you. And I'm grateful for the balance because, like I said, it could have been, yeah, I probably would have had a lot of resentment towards you maybe as I got older if I had been so, constricted and like, oh, you can't go this, you can't do that, Like I feel like it might have trickled down into adulthood and I might have, had a little bit more trouble. So yeah, I'm just grateful that God gave you that to, have that balance where, you have faith, but also allowing us to just, grow up and figure life out on our own because,
Kids.
yeah, I need to, you have to find your own personal relationship with God. She can't save me, right? So, teaching me those morals and values and make sure I have that foundation, right? But at the end of the day, you have to discover it on your own. So, thanks, Mom.
That's great.
Major. That's major.
I can feel the love in the air.
That's major. That's dope stuff. Okay, so let's piggyback Sybil.
What was the question?
Um,
I'm sorry.
Your final thoughts,
okay.
words of just encouragement to, and maybe feedback for mothers and daughters out there. Just kind of, just what words, message would you leave with them?
I would have to say, show your kids unconditional, raise them in God, show them unconditional love, no matter what, let them know you love them, but kind of like what Kelsey said, give them a balance, because if you don't, you need balance in life. You just need balance, because if you one way too far the other way, it it triggers off something else because they're going to grow up and do what they want to do anyway. They don't hear everything you said and taught them, but like I said, until God draw them and save them,
Yeah.
you got to let them be kids. You let them know you love them unconditional and be, because what you want them to be, and it may not be what God wants them to be. So you have to
Yeah.
release, okay, God, you allow me to have them. I raised them up the way you gave me. Now they're in your hands. So you have to allow them to develop their own personality, be their own people. They ain't gonna never forget. That's why the Bible say raise up a child in the way they should go. When they get old, they won't depart. They're not gonna forget your teaching, showing them, teaching them, releasing them. Because I think a lot of times as parents, we try to hold on and we try to form. Because I became really rebellious because everybody was telling me I was in this restricted and I was trying to be. And every time they tell me to do something, I start screwing up. I couldn't quite, because I was trying to be what man wanted me to be and not God. And so when I finally said, enough of all this, and I started focusing on what he wanted, he let me know I love you, you're special. So parents, just relax a little bit. Raise them up in God, relax, pray for them, love them unconditional, give them emotional love, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physical. Let them know you love them growing up, so some slick head don't have to tell them they're beautiful and he loves them, because it's out there. And this is where it's a lack of knowing that they're loved. They don't have you. I learned love from, in other words, love is what validate our kids when they're younger. I want them to know you're loved. So nobody else don't have to tell you special love, because I'm going to tell you right here in this house, you're loved and you're special. Because a lot of people is out there looking for love in all the wrong places. I was. And then when I realized, okay, God loves me unconditional, then I'm like, okay, I've been all out here looking, but it's right here all along. And so I wanted them to get that, I wanted them to have the whole
Minister to him.
Yes, yes. So that would be my take.
That's great. Mom?
I was sitting here thinking about that, and Sybil just came right on in my spirit where I was. And just really let love lead you.
Yeah.
Let love lead you. Be kind to one another. Live life to the fullest. Take the time to check on one another. And just create good memories. Because tomorrow's not promised.
Yes, so true.
Live life like it's your last day here. Every day, every day. Love on your kids like never before, because the world is waiting.
Yeah.
They will love them a little differently,
Yes.
and it will
Yes.
not be kind. It will not be kind. But check on each other. Sisters and brothers, mothers and kids, husbands and wife. It's so important that we watch out for one another. And hug and love, because you can look up and that person not be here.
Yes, so true.
So make sure in the house that all those good things is going on. Peace, love, joy, harmony.
Yes.
Teach it, so then the kids will teach it to them, their kids. Keep it going. Want some different, we want to stump on those generational curses.
Yes.
We're going to put some other things in the generation. So let love lead you, for God is love.
Yes, so true.
But live life. Don't just be existing.
So true.
I really am drawn to just that part of it, because for these last 6 years, I could write a book for this different things going on with the injury and mental and depression and stress, and in the house with everybody but feeling all alone, because you're really the only one at that going through what you're going through. So live life to the fullest.
All the way.
All the way. Every day.
Every
Yes.
day. Please.
Yeah.
just say to my mom, I love you. I love you. I thank you for firstly, for your love back to me, and for your teaching. And it's funny how we were talking about that earlier, of my mom having discernment. No, we're not going there. It wouldn't just be to like people's houses. Oh, we're having a camping field trip. Oh, well, you won't be going. Mm-mm, no. And when you young, you like,
You don't understand.
man, it's like,
Just
you don't understand, like, you know,
Right.
right. But then you grow up, you like, yeah, I'm so glad you didn't, I'm so glad you didn't do that. And so you're teaching, your protection,
Yeah.
and for me personally, you letting me know who I was and really instilling confidence in me. I had a really hard time growing up as a kid, making friends and feeling like I was different because I was, and would be what a lot of people categorize as being too nice and
Or weird.
being weird because you're kind and you're nice, and I didn't grow up in a household where it was mean. No, we were loving and cordial with one another. That's how I was raised. When you come out of this house, you be nice to people. And I didn't understand, that you can be nice and people still be mean. So, so that was difficult for me. But my mom, she never let me, steer too far from that. But she also let me know too, you can be nice, but you have to still have boundaries. You can't let people walk all over you. And I did that a lot growing up. But I thank her for always telling me, like, trying to like reel me back, like, hey,
Wake up.
you can say how you feel. If something is hurting you, you can say that.
Yep.
You're not a bad person for saying that, hey, what you're doing hurts me. I don't like that. And because my mom, she'll tell you in a minute, hey, stop that, don't do that.
Hey,
Right. But I love you dearly. I love you for being who you are, the amazing God-fearing woman you are, for praying for me when I wasn't even praying for myself.
Testify.
Yeah. And for going to God for me when I didn't want to go to God for myself. I've had many of those moments.
Jesus.
But being the intercessor for me.
Yeah.
And just being there for me. I could talk to her about anything, and she's there. What's on your mind? What you need? Or sometimes I won't even say anything. It'll be in my voice, and she'll hear it. What's wrong?
Be in your face.
Be in your face, right? What's wrong? Nothing. No, it's something. What's wrong? Like, you can talk to me. That I don't know about anybody else, but that matters.
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
That's important.
Absolutely.
When your mom can see that something is wrong without even saying anything,
that's real
that's
connection.
vital. Like, that means your
That's
mom knows you. She knows
facts.
you. She knows when you're joyful and happy. She
Facts.
knows when you're sad. So, I thank you for just being the best mother ever.
Everything.
Being everything we've ever needed, and everything we needed, everything we wanted, we had it. We had it.
Yeah.
The things we thought we needed, or the things we thought we wanted, when you convinced us, when you told us no, it was no.
Yeah.
Or not right now,
We-
later.
We may haven't had got all that we wanted.
Yeah, but we had all we needed.
everything
We had
we
everything we
needed.
needed.
We never went without
We never went without anything.
We never went anything without a need.
No.
The need was always met. So
And even sometimes us having what we needed meant you not having what you needed. But it didn't matter. You went ahead and did it anyway. So I thank you for that, and I love you.
Okay, don't break me down.
It's like I'm trying to work
You got anything to add I guess we could kind of input last before we close it down.
Yeah, we was gonna get ready to close it out. I really, I just definitely want to express my gratitude to, and my last thought would just be to, live in love, man, walking, my spirit is always filled with gratitude. I've grown emotional getting older, just being grateful of life and grateful of the people that I started with, that are still here, my family, and then also coming into new counterparts who are all,
Yeah, yep.
So I'm very grateful in that, right? Thankful for you guys. And I just pray for, many more happy memories and
Yes.
the memories that aren't so happy and favorable, we just continue to still cherish them and push through them and together.
The things those memories that aren't favorable is still happy moments because we get to experience them with y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's the beauty of life and the blessing and the cheat code that God has gifted us with, that even those hard things can be great things because of the people you experience it with.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, because you guys are my family. I love y'all.
man, we love you. And that's been another episode of Honestly Speaking. We appreciate y'all for watching, man. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, man.
We love you guys.
We are out of here.
We're out of here.
We're out of here.